Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. We're going to talk about this mental health issue. When should we stay with somebody? When should we give up on them? Narcissists do have that lack of empathy, and that's where things get hard. They don't take accountability. I came across this one person just to post on Facebook. Now, this person says that they're sorry. They've been going through a lot in their life, and they admit that their mental health has been so off track. So they're taking accountability, but there's been like 3 or 4 years of damaged relationships. This person had some addictions going on, and narcissists go through life, their entire life, destroying lives to fill their void. They take from people. They don't look back. Now what gets tricky, the mental health in America is the worst in the world. I did a video where they had all the different serial killers, and we have, what was it, 3,246. We have over 3,000 convicted serial killers. And the second highest was just 166. So mental health in America is way off track. We also have a lot of drug trafficking going on. People are entitled because of the way we're trying to handle society. We handle it way different than a lot of different countries do. And so anyways, this person was apologizing to the people that they've been romantically involved with over the past 3 or 4 years. They haven't felt like themselves for several years up until recently. And there is a difference between going through a bad time in life and mental illness. Now, I don't know this person, but we have to be careful. If this is just somebody you just start dating, where let's say he wrote me this letter, he is saying he's sorry. We have to be careful. Sometimes they're going through counseling and they're told make amends with people. Is it really heartfelt? This one does seem that he is taking accountability, but we have to take that kind of stuff into consideration. He's admitting he lost sight of who he really was, what he was working towards, and he started becoming cold, irritable, and we got to be careful too. This person's struggling with mental health. As we're dealing with our narcissists, we go through some struggles too. We're not answering our phone as much. We're not returning texts. We're losing focus at work. That's why go through the grieving process and move forward, because you don't want to destroy your relationships either. So this person, while they were in this state of poor mental health, they had failed attempts at building lasting connections and jobs, often had fights and arguments that could have easily been settled. And a lot of times it's that irritability that we feel. We're not necessarily irritated at the person, we're irritated within our own discomfort because of the breakup or because of the way we were treated by a narcissistic person when we don't feel it was valid. And they also had some other struggles, including addiction problems like drinking, partying, just to feel something. And a lot of times we want to escape the pain that we're feeling. So stay strong. Don't turn to drugs or alcohol. Do things in moderation. So, I could sit here and tell you, go exercise, but I also don't want you to over exercise. I want you to enjoy different things in your life. Don't latch on to people so much. Go between different friends. I know when I was having my hard time, I did go to my best friend. You should go to your best friend, but I could use that time to build more friendships, deepen some other relationships other than just with my best friend. Don't always have to tell people what you're going through. So this person's apologizing for the people that had to deal with them, the issues that came along, and they're stating that they're doing better now. So with our narcissist, are they really doing better, or are they just apologizing? Narcissists are a little different than people who just struggle with depression and snap out of it. And I don't mean snap out of it, deal with their issues and grow, because a lot of times people do say just snap out of it, and I don't mean it that way, because it is a struggle. And so this person says that they're doing better, and they want to reach back out to those who feel hurt or pushed away by the actions or lack of actions. And now that's a real key thing. Omission is a big thing. Narcissists don't seem to realize that, you know, not returning texts or calls, or not summing up whether the relationship is ended or not. A lot of times they do ghosting, which can be so detrimental. Sometimes we're like, it's not what I want to hear, but if that is the end of the relationship, at least acknowledge me. Otherwise we feel like we don't even exist, that we're not even worth the time of day, to where we're just left to pick up the pieces. And you know, they can handle it in such a different way. So you know, some of the comments are, you know, people are supporting this person. There's a difference between supporting and enabling. So we got to really analyze, are we helping someone? I'm not saying this person has a mental illness or not, but they did have some mental health struggles. Our narcissist has a disorder, and you know, it's kind of like a handicap. You know, it's not something that just goes away. Mental health, mental illness, some of them can be overcome, some of them can't. Like schizophrenia, it can be managed with medications. A lot of times people don't like to continue on their medications. Sometimes certain medications cause weight gain, or they feel that now they're healed, they don't have to take it anymore. So I just wanted to bring awareness to the fact that narcissism is a lack of empathy. And it's just like if I didn't have nerves in my fingers, I'm never going to feel. I will never feel, no matter how much, like I'll stab harder. It's not going to make me heal. So the narcissist isn't going to heal. Just like if I don't have nerves in my fingers, I can learn how much pressure to put on things for it to be safe. The narcissist can learn how much pressure to put on people, how much accountability they need to take. But is it heartfelt? Is it heartfelt? Or is it just a learned behavior? And we want to connect with a true person, you know, and it's really a tough call, because, you know, they say don't put stigma on mental health. People can progress. People can learn how to get along better. People can't always learn how to feel. People can't always learn how to feel. They can learn how to interact. So that's something to be aware of. Narcissists usually revert back to their childhood state whenever they're under pressure. So just like us, we revert back to our coping skills as how it relates to our childhood. So if we start to get stressed out, we want to work it out. We want to talk through it. We want to have the love. Narcissists revert back to a different way of handling things. They do the temper tantrum, silent treatment, just like kids. They'll give you, or I hate you, mom. They go back to that childlike state. We're the type that we were just raised different and under pressure. And that's where the devaluation stage comes in, because we bring the narcissist back to their childhood, which they have struggled so hard to get out of. It's just a very odd balance. But I just was thinking earlier today, that is kind of something important. Another thing that we tend to do is we give them the ammunition. And how they need to be talked to is direct. When we say something like, even just something easy, like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't come to your wedding. I have my daughter's basketball game. I'm just trying to acknowledge, like, I would be there, you know, in a sense. Let's say family comes first, or this is my daughter's tournament. It's the only time, it's a once in a lifetime thing for her. Maybe I would have gone if it was just a regular basketball game, whatever, but I'm telling you why I can't be there. The narcissist will take that as, you fucking bitch. You think a fucking basketball game is more important than my wedding. So there's times though that we have to let people live their own lives. But when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, it makes it really hard. Who is the one who is right in that situation? Let's say it was a narcissist sister. Where's the balance? You know, the basketball game or the wedding? You know, the daughter's connected to you directly. The sister is on the outside of the family unit. it gets really difficult working with them. But they take that and will use it as anger. They will use it as a way of seeing how much you like cared about them, where you fit as like a scale of how important they are. So with a narcissist, you just had to say, yo, dude, I can't be there. Enjoy your wedding. As opposed to telling them why. Because let's say I don't know, had a death of my grandfather, and they might in their mind relate, oh, okay, I can understand that. But if I tell them I have something else that they don't think is appropriate, they're not going to forgive me. They're going to hold it against me. They're going to have a grudge, and then they're going to devalue me as a friend because I told them why. Because I told them why. And I keep saying with a narcissist, you can't say why. You can't say, you know, would you really mind getting back with me? Because you know, it's starting to feel like crap that I haven't talked to you in 3 days. I just want a little acknowledgement. Or are you okay? I'm just worried about you. So we say, I'm just worried about you. And then they'll be like, you don't trust me, or why would you think that something's wrong? Like, it just gives them reasons. So you can just say, I'm worried about you, call me back, but don't tell them, or just call me back. Will you call me? And see, even me, even now it's hard to change the way I talk. So when you guys are like, how do I talk to a narcissist, or should I get back with them, or how do I make it better? Whew, I've been doing YouTube since December. So that's like 7 months. To where, you know, giving advice, it should be second nature, just roll off the tongue. It's still a mental process for me to try to talk like a narcissist when I give examples, because it's so outside my realm. So this is just free talk on YouTube, but imagine real life situations for a narcissist trying to change the way they talk all day long. I just do a half hour a day, maybe 1 or 2 hours. But they start getting exhausted and irritated. And it's like they could present something for a while in real life conversation and go with the flow. But as soon as pressure is put on them, or as soon as they start getting exhausted, like if I had to do all these videos talking like a narcissist would, I would be exhausted, confused, stressed out. It's just two different types of people. But narcissist upon narcissist, they have the heated, passionate arguments because they're two peas in a pod. So they'll banter back and forth. But when it's serious things, it's super destructive. And when they're dealing with an empath, they've learned how to control the situation. It's an ongoing cycle over and over again. And each time you get back, it gets worse. You know, they take it as we've accepted their actions when we forgive them. But what we're hoping is we'll give you an apology, or we'll accept the apology so you can change your behavior. They just take it as, oh, I got away with it. It's two different thought processes. So I just thought it was interesting. Mental illness is on the rise. We have to get along as society. If we start discarding everybody, we're going to have even more animosity. This is where I'm the type I project into the future. Like, should I do this? You know, I had one instance where I got broken into. I was trying to save the world as a good Christian girl, because in high school I was going to church like crazy and talking to everybody, trying to be supportive. And my one friend said, you know, talk to Cindy. Cindy will help you out. Nobody I ever met. I tried helping them. They were basically hopeless because it was a grown man. I never met him, but he tried getting like 12-year-olds trying to basically be sluts, dress slutty. I think they did drugs. I don't know about the sexual stuff, but it was kind of like flirty. So I don't know where that went. And they'd always try to get waitresses fired. They were very narcissistic, if not above. And he's trying to change these girls, and it was just breaking my heart. So I'm trying to help him, even trying to set things up with cops. Like, there's going to be drugs there, there's going to be underage children. The cops didn't help me. So finally I ended up realize I can't help this guy. And he ended up breaking into my house, torched my car, put my roommate's cat in the car, torched it, the cat too, stole a bunch of stuff. And I know it was him based on certain things. Also, he called my parents' house right before it happened. So we got to be careful on how we cut things off, because the most dangerous time for a breakup is the end. When you're moving out or cutting ties, the most dangerous part of a relationship is the end of it. Because I have a degree in criminal justice, and we talked about the domestic violence. So if you need a second party there or the cops there, just be careful. But my point about the mental health in America, who do we discard? Who do we help? We have to have a balance. So nobody likes to be discarded. Nobody likes to, be treated certain ways. So if you have to deal with a narcissist, they're going to get real frustrated if they can't communicate. So if you have children, it's good to set boundaries. You can be here between 6. I'll give you till 6:30. If I get a phone call, I can change it to 7 or 8, or you can say it has to be by 6:30, or I have to take the kids with me. Set your boundaries. Go through a second party, somebody who's neutral. Meet at safe places, whether it's a cop station or some public parking lot. It's scary. I've been watching a lot of criminal cases on YouTube because, like I said, my degree is in criminal justice, and it's fascinating. I taught criminal law before at Grand Valley State, but people, especially entitled people, get really angry. You'll see that narcissistic rage. They actually black out. So you don't always know what's going to happen. They don't even know what's going to happen. They'll react on impulses, and not all of them are super angry. Luckily, the ones I was with were not physically abusive. The only time one like grabbed me and put me on the bed really, really harsh, but I've never been hit. Don't deal with physical abuse. It only escalates over time. But watching these videos, seeing all the mental illness that's out there, that we don't want to make it worse. I teach a class on body language and tone of voice, on how things can just change certain situations from good to bad. You give somebody a dirty look because they disgust you, they're going to go off on you. But if you just kind of maintain your facial expressions, where you're not showing them what you feel as far as in a judgmental way, but it's so crazy. You also don't want to be accepting of it, but you got to protect yourself first and foremost. And when you're dealing with a narcissist, you don't really know what you're dealing with. You think you do based on the facade that they put up. And the only time you know who they really are is when the mask falls. And the mask falls for things you wouldn't even expect sometimes. Just like if I responded to that wedding invitation and I was like, I gotta go to my daughter's thing. That could turn into rage. That could turn into physical violence. That could and you're like, I was just telling you, we don't know what's going to happen with a narcissist. We don't have a safe haven. If you're in a relationship with them, when things are going nicely, they're going nicely. And I'm going to do another video on Taylor Swift. I'm not saying she's a narcissist, but there's different things that people are saying, you know, as far as she was on the Ellen show and I just watched it, it was kind of interesting how she didn't want to take accountability to things, how her relationships were really short. Seems like she's in a long one now, but um, you know, she's in the public eye and she's trying to keep things secret. Just like our narcissists, they don't want to be judged for certain things. They don't want to be an open book. I'll go more into Taylor in a different video, and I'm not saying she's narcissistic, but some people are saying, you know, she might be. She did grow, she is kind of entitled. And when things crash, that's when you're going to see what a person really is. So far right now, she's, you know, in the limelight, things are going good. But the narcissist, when they're in the relationship and things are going good, everything's fine. We're not going to know who they are until it crashes. And that's what's so hard. That's why it's hard dating, because you don't see who somebody really is until things crash. And it's scary how much the mental illness is getting out of hand. So date somebody from a different country. Just kidding. Just stay safe out there. Don't let them bring you down, because you could go through something what this one person just posted, where, you know, it's going to start causing us so much depression that is it worth continuing to ruminate for a little bit, but it takes effort to heal. And if you want that Hoover, find validation through YouTube with, you know, people like me saying, I understand what you're going through. You're not crazy. You didn't do anything wrong. Don't feel guilty for reacting possibly the wrong way, because it would just happen. It's almost like no matter what you would have done, they would have turned it around anyway. So even if you think, why didn't I say it this way? It would have turned the other way around. Would turn the other way around. So no matter what, you wouldn't have won, because the narcissist just likes to keep things stirred up. They like that chaos. So you did not do anything wrong. You could have picked a different answer, still would have been wrong. The narcissist will never let you win. So topic requests are welcome, and one-on-ones are available, and I'll see you in the next video.